Nick, if you could do me a favour and say the GDPR statements.
Yes, I certainly will do. And good evening to everybody. Tonight we've got Edward, and I've known Edward because Edward was the guy that got me on Clubhouse a few times, and I really did object to it because I didn't know what I was really doing. But Ed, I must admit, I kind of really did enjoy my little stint on Clubhouse. And before we start, got to get the due diligence is out the way, that under GDPR rules, that because we record this, if you do not want to be recorded, we have to ask you to leave. Yes. Or can I get away with, I keep saying that, can I get away with just blank your screen out?
Yeah, if you'd have to anonymize the name as well.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, I'm just letting you know because it does go on our website afterwards. And anyway, coming back to, so delete or leave or get rid of your name and keep yourself blanked out. But as I was introducing Ed, I met him and I kind of really did like his, it's called iTours Pro. What a mouthful that is for me. The dyslexic, trying to get all that out in one go is really hard work for me. iTours Pros. It's a virtual of about taking a picture of your homes, but in a kind of video kind of way, and then being on a platform that you can promote that to tenants. Is that an easy way of explaining it, Ed, in a layman's terms?
Yeah, I mean, I can go through it in a
Oh, no, you are definitely going through it. That's why you're here tonight. Yeah, you're definitely going through it tonight. But I was really quite impressed. And when I looked on the web and seeing how much people were charging for it, and I looked at Ed, what he was charging for it, I thought that might be a really good fit. And he's going to give LMPG a discount as well. You are, aren't you, Ed? Nod you, Ed.
Yeah.
Yeah, good. So, I'd just like to introduce Ed Sloan, and he's going to be talking about iTours Pro. So over to you, Ed, and Anthony's going to help you.
Yes, well, just a second before we jump in with Ed, I just want to mention about the questions. We're trialing something to try and give a bit more reason to show up to these live ones rather than watching it recorded after the fact. So with questions today, we will be asking Ed questions throughout the presentation and afterwards, as usual. So if you want us to read your question out, then pop it in the chat and we'll read it out for you. But if you want to jump on and introduce yourself and ask the question yourself, just put your little hand up. You can do that.
How do you do that?
So you can raise your hand. I think if you hit the...
Yeah.
I don't know, send it a hand emoji or something. There is a way to raise your hand.
How do you do that?
That's a very good question, Nick. I don't know the answer to that.
Does anybody know how to do
it? A lot more easy.
Oh, I do.
Reactions.
Bottom reactions.
Yeah, look,
there you go. Reactions down on the bottom.
I put my hand up.
And then you hit the. Oh, you can do loads of things. Raise hand there. So.
That's a raise hand, Nick.
You're now raising our hands. We've got a few people in the lobby as well. So if everyone wants to give that a go for the next 5 minutes, I'm going to just assume that you're doing that to test it out rather than asking questions. So if you want to see if you've got the ability to do that, and then we will invite you up on stage at the end of the presentation, and you can ask your questions. So that's enough from me. Ed, we want to hear from you.
All right, fantastic. Thanks for inviting me on, guys. Really appreciate it. Like Nick said, we met on a social app called Clubhouse. Obviously, we had a little chat discussion. I showed him what we do. He explained, obviously, what LMPG was. We both agreed it was a good fit. So I'm going to give you a demonstration tonight and obviously go through a slideshow, just introducing who we are, what we're about. And hopefully I'll show you how to create a virtual tour. So we work primarily in different industries. We work in manufacturing, hospitality, the automotive industry, facilities and management, and we also work in the property industry. So we do 360 virtual tours outsourced for properties for sales and for lets. Now, a while ago, we were asked, it was a couple of years ago to be fair, it was in 2019, so it was before the COVID period, but we were asked by a client to shoot some student lets in Manchester and in Derby. But obviously, when we put the price together for that particular client for these properties, there was a question that came up, and it's come up and arisen before, was the cost, because it's quite expensive for us to come out with our kit, our equipment, and shoot the virtual tour with our time. So the properties that we primarily do, the luxury properties, high-end properties. So we decided that we'll put something together which will enable property professionals right across the board to shoot, create and publish their own 360 virtual tours in-house. So this will enable them to drive the cost right down. Now, the three main challenges for this was to make it simple on the tour creation. So it has to be user-friendly for the editor. We had to make it user-friendly for the end user because, you need to be able to navigate the tours. And again, the third thing was actually to drive the cost down. So obviously we put together iTours Pro, as I say, which is what I'm going to demonstrate for you this evening. I'll just quickly share my screen now, if that's okay, Anthony.
Oh, he did it in one go.
Yeah, I gave him instructions, but I was muted, so I was no good there.
Yeah, that's why I jumped on. I'm sitting
Yes. So iTours Pro, obviously myself is Edward Sloan, or Ed, whichever's I'm not really sort of too fussed about, to be fair. And I'm the director of iTours Pro. We have other directors in the business as well. A couple of the directors are landlords as well. So we have got experience in how difficult and some of the challenges can be for landlords, especially in the sort of current climate. I actually I was a landlord around about 15, 20 years ago. I sort of dipped my toe in. I was working in the hospitality industry, and I was actually living on site in a public house, managing the property. Managing the property, to be fair. I'm managing the business. So I decided, because I had a lot of disposable income, that I'd invest it into a property and become a landlord. I was obviously quite naive. I was quite young, early 20s. I wrote a list together of the type of profile that I wanted, which was not a regular in the pub, because I wanted somebody to be out of the area. I wanted I know again it's naive, but I didn't want anyone from DSS. I wanted it to be a private rent. It was only a 2-bedroom property, so I didn't want anyone with any more than sort of 2 children, or like a bit more of a smaller family. And then some of the usual things like no pets and no smoking. Now there was a group of regulars that came into the pub, and one of the members of the group were having the house. They were renting a property, and the house was being demolished. So I got quite a lot of pressure put on me to actually rent the property out to this individual, which I ended up doing. And the day they moved into the property, they knocked one of the radiators off the wall. So it was, and I was going to Mexico the following day as well on holiday. So it was quite a challenge for me at the time. The actual person didn't register it either with the DSS, so it took around about 5 to 6 months before I started getting any rent. And the difficulty, and one of the reasons why I didn't want a regular coming in, was because if there was any issues, she was coming in the pub every night, sort of drinking. So I was without rent, and she was coming in the pub. So I got my fingers burned. It's probably something I'm going to look at again. But yeah, that's obviously a little bit about ourselves and obviously who we are. So
I've got to say, Ed, we've had a lot of people that have come on and said, yeah, I've been a landlord, or I am a landlord, because that's tend to how people know about us in the first place. But I think you might be the first person that said I was a landlord and then I gave it up because it was just too much hassle.
Yeah, I like I said, I was obviously quite young. I think at the time I should have maybe got a mentor, or maybe spoke to somebody with a bit of experience. But like I said, I was a bit naive at the time, so I kind of just turned my back on the whole idea and sort of looked at other projects and other ideas. But again, I do understand the difficulties firsthand, obviously, what it takes to be a landlord. So let's go back to this one. Yeah, so obviously introducing 360 virtual tours. So 360 virtual tours are sometimes confused with video tours. And obviously Nick sort of touched on that before, you know, calling it a video tour. Both do appear similar, but video tours only allow the users to see one point of view at any given time. A 360 virtual tour allows the end user the ability to see the entire panoramic scene, and it also provides the opportunity to navigate through the location with a much more realistic experience. So obviously what you do is you take a 360 image and then you stitch those images together, and then you link those images together, and then that creates you a virtual tour. Virtual tours are a lot more interactive. A video is great. You know, we do sort of obviously like videos. There isn't any issues with videos, but videos can be more of a highlight reel, a bit like a movie trailer. So, you know, there may be times when you've seen a movie trailer and you've gone to see the movie itself, and it sometimes doesn't quite sort of show how good the actual trailer was, if that makes any sense. So when it comes to actually a virtual property, if you just show a video, that can lead to wasted viewings. And this is something that some of our clients have experienced in the past. You know, if they still do use the videos, but what they'll do now is once the interest is generated, then the 360 virtual tour is sent, and you can send that via text message, via WhatsApp, via email. So when the actual client comes to view, you know that they're going to be fully engaged because they've bought into the highlight video already, and now they've seen a virtual tour, so they've effectively had a first viewing already. And it obviously gives them the opportunity then to, obviously when they come in, if they do a physical viewing, they'll have a much more better idea of the actual property itself. So obviously our clients now, due to this, are actually letting and renting properties out without actually doing any physical viewings, especially short-term lets. So is that any questions on that, or should I move on?
Nothing yet, Ed. Keep going. But I was just thinking when you said that a video is a bit like a highlight reel. A virtual tour, it's a bit like a video game, like a really boring video game where you've got nothing to do. You just walk around the flat.
A virtual tour is like a boring video game?
Yeah, where you've got nothing, you just walk around the flat.
Well, the virtual tours, you can actually make them interactive, so you can actually put points of interest in. You can actually put YouTube videos, you can put all types of different messages. And the purpose for the 360 virtual tour isn't for a video game, it's to showcase the actual property itself.
Oh, it was just a metaphor. I thought you'd like it,
Ed. So obviously a lot of our clients, again, what they sort of reflect back on iTours Pro is the actual support that we give, because it's one of the key parts of our ethos is support as well as affordability. So and the benefits of using iTours Pro, again, obviously we've touched on that, is affordability. We offer full training, support, and that's all included. We have easy to follow video tutorials. So if you haven't got time for like a training session, you can sort of jump onto the website and you can actually view some of the tutorials on the site. 360 virtual tours can easily embed into your website as well. So this enables you to showcase the properties on your website. And again, I think I touched on it earlier. You can actually share them via email and social media. And you can even customize your virtual tours with backlinks to your website. So that enables your potential clients to actually just click through to a page on your website where they can put some information in, and then obviously you just reach out to them and get in contact, a contact form.
We've got a question here about that. Are they easy to embed on third-party sites like Booking.com and Airbnb?
There are some. Excuse me. There are some property portals that you can use, like Rightmove, Zoopla, on the market. A lot of the sort of Booking.com, Airbnb, they don't have the facility for 360 virtual tours. However, the way we sort of look for our clients to promote it, even sort of estate agents that use Rightmove, is you shouldn't really put the virtual tours on those platforms anyway, because if you put that information onto the platforms, you're going to lose the data capture side of it. So what our clients do that are currently using our HMO landlords, etc., they will just advertise the property as normal. As soon as they get an inquiry, they'll just send them the link. They've then captured the data, so they've got the information, they know the interest, and then obviously they'll liaise with the client thereafter once they've received the virtual tour.
Well, what you could do, Ed, is you could have the standard description, photos, etc., etc. You can have a link to say take a virtual tour of the flat here, or whatever it is, and that can go back through, and then you get best of both worlds. Yeah,
I mean, if it's acceptable for the link, because all it is a link. So if you can add the link to sort of booking.com or Airbnb, then that is more than suitable, because that's what you do with Rightmove and what you do with On the Market and Zoopla and such.
But look, I've got
another question come up.
Buddy said the same as me. Can you not copy and paste the URL link address on spareroom.com, for example? So yes, I think that's the same thing. You get the best of both worlds that way. I'm going to ask you some questions about the data capture you mentioned there in a second, Ed, but I know what's coming up next, so I want to go ahead and jump into that first.
So you want to look at the live demonstration?
Yes, please.
Okay.
I don't know what's coming up because I didn't watch it. I never watched them.
No, trick of the trade, I always do, but Nick never does. He likes the genuine reactions.
Yeah, I do.
Right, so this is I'm just trying to maneuver some of this share thing from the Zoom.
We are still looking at the presentation. So if you share and then share again, I think what you've done is you can choose it to pick your screen or just a window. So I think you've picked the presentation window there.
At least I was better on Clubhouse.
So can you see my screen now?
Yes, lovely, thank you.
Right, okay, so to get to this stage, all I've done is just logged into the account, and then just add a virtual tour, and that's going to bring me to this page. This is where your virtual tours would be stored in your profile. I've got a Damien looking to enter the room. I can't move that. Can I cross that off, or will that?
That's all right. He's already in. Don't you worry about any of that.
I've crossed it off. It's fine. It's worked, right? I'll just very quickly show you how to customize the virtual tours first. It's very, very straightforward. It just takes a couple of minutes. If you click on, obviously, once you've logged in and obviously you look to add a virtual tour, you just click onto my profile. And that brings up, obviously, your company profile and obviously your details. So obviously these fields here, if you just have like company, your telephone number, the web address is HTTPS. It's the full, it's not just www, the full bar. Choose logo or choose file. Click on the file. And then if I just move that there, because I think you're in the way, and if you just press upload, scroll to the bottom and press save.
What's this map?
That's just the address. You don't need to fill that in. It's just a Google map for the address, but
okay. The address of the property.
No, it'd be the address of the business.
Okay.
But again, obviously, we don't need that. It's just basically this just customizes your virtual tours. So all the virtual tours now moving forward will all be customized with this logo. So hopefully that demonstration was okay.
Yeah. So this you put all the stuff in there at the beginning, and then any virtual tour you put in.
After that, yeah. So if you set this up first, again, it's just taking me 30 seconds to add the custom logo and add the web address. Mm-hmm. All your virtual tours moving forward will then be with your logo embedded into the actual tour with backlinks to your website.
Okay.
So obviously on the top bar here, I'm just going to put add tour, and that's going to take us to the tour creation page. Okay. So the one thing that you do need to do is you do need to just name the tour. I'm just going to put this as an apartment because that's what we're going to be uploading. This description box is when you send it via WhatsApp or via text message, when you get a link sent to you, you'll have a picture of the actual tour, but then you'll have a little description in that box. So obviously for this, it'll be welcome to 2-bedroom apartment. Okay. The recipient email is an email address for a third party. Your details will already be logged into the website. So you'll automatically receive the virtual tour once it's created, but this is for a third party. I'll just scroll down, obviously, for some of these here. We can touch on these later. But this is the actual window where you drag and drop the files into. Okay. So here's some that I prepared earlier. Can you see that?
No. We can only see the iTours Pro thing. So again, you've just shared the window, not the full screen.
Ah, right, okay. So do I need to go back to unshare and share again?
Yes, please. And when you select
Press new
the
share.
top left one, that will be share screen.
Does that work?
Yes, there we go.
All right, okay. So this is obviously just a folder that's on my desktop. And these are the 360 images that I've taken. And what I've done is I've just named them. And you can see there where it says 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is the order of the images that I'm going to be looking on the 360 virtual tour. So all I need to do now is just drag those into the window. And can you still see that now?
Yeah, I'm just loading them up.
So can you see that they're actually uploading?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
If you see here where my arrow is, there's a bar there. So it's just showing you that the actual images are uploading.
50%.
Once those images have uploaded, it will take me straight through to another page. So I've literally, all I've done is I've just drag and dropped the images into the file. So here you can see the images have now been uploaded to the platform.
Yeah.
As you can see, they're named. If you don't name them beforehand, you can name them here anyway. But I just like to name them first, so they're already there. And you can see here that these images are just slightly out. Obviously, this needs to be my first image, really. So what I'm just going to do, if you see the little cross in the left-hand corner,
Yeah.
I'm just going to move these images up.
So if you make a mistake, you can actually go back in and put them in the order that you want.
Exactly.
I was just thinking for Paul, that was all.
And there's another sort of stage where you can do this as well. So
I don't know if we should be worried here, Ed, but the ones that you're moving, there's a little triangle next to them.
yeah, that just means it's been moved. That's all it is. It's just letting you know that you've moved the image. So now we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They're all in order. And obviously now we're happy with those in that order. So all I need to do now is just press save. And as you can see now, the actual tour itself is being created. As soon as the tour is created, you will receive an email link as soon as it's done. Okay, it doesn't take too long. It just takes a few minutes. So if there's any questions now at this stage, that'd be great while it's just processing.
Well, James has asked on Facebook how easy is it, and I think we're going through a little bit of that now. Now, this is kind of the second half of it because you've got the images already, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So the actual to take the images themselves, all you need. I was actually going to talk about that a little later, but
let's talk about that later. Yeah, let's not.
Yeah. Okay. So this is just the obviously just a platform how to go. So the actual image taking is super simple because you sync the camera to the phone via an app, and it's the same as taking an image. You actually take the image on your phone as you would take a phone image on a phone, but because this camera as you can see, I don't know if you can see that, it's got lenses mounted on both sides.
Mm-hmm.
So it takes an image, sort of 2 images in one. So as you can see now, the tour's been processed. And obviously there's your image, but as you can see now, you can actually scroll right around.
Okay.
Okay. You've got a thumbnail navigation here at the moment, so you can actually click through and start moving around, obviously, the property. Can you see that okay, or is it lagging?
It's a wee bit laggy, but it's all right if you scroll a little bit slower.
So what we've got now is we've obviously got the basis now of our 360 virtual tour. So all we need to do now is actually just link the images together. And that's super, again, straightforward. All we do is just click on, in fact, if you scroll down where your tour's been processed, this is the link for your tour here.
Mm-hmm.
If you do wish to embed it into your website, this is the iBed embed frame code here. Obviously, so that's what you would use, obviously, to put it into your website. So we just click here to add hotspots and navigation. A little window comes up. I'm going to press OK because it's fine. And as you can see now, it's actually opened up in a new window at the top.
Yep.
Yep.
So this is actually the virtual tour editor. Now, what you can do here is you can create separate floors and categories. So obviously, this is an apartment. So what I will do is I'm just going to delete all tours, create a new floor and category, and I'm going to name the category outside. Because this is over one floor. So if you've had like sort of 2 floors, 3 floors, you just delete all, rename it first floor or ground floor. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to click the images that are relevant to outside. In this particular tour, there's only one. Are you with me?
Yeah.
I'm going to press OK. So now we've got our first floor created, which is outside. So our category. So we're going to add a new one. And we'll just put apartment. Again, this depends on your own terminology. First floor, ground floor, second floor, you know, upstairs, downstairs, whatever it may be. Okay, so in this one, now we've clicked apartment. So we're just going to click. And again, we've numbered them so we know which ones are in order. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And now we're going to press OK. So now we've got outside and apartment. So now we know that the whole tour has been categorized. We can click on the hotspot editor. Close that down there. And we're going to click on the first image. So this is obviously the outside. So what we want to do is create a navigation point that's going to take us from outside to inside. So if you can see here where it says drag and drop,
Mm-hmm.
what we're going to do is just drag down over the door, click on the arrow, which is the points to scene, click on that, and it's going to bring us up to all our images that we categorized earlier. But we know it's going to be this one, because that's the hallway, okay?
Yep.
And I just need to move that and press OK. So now we've got a navigation point from outside to inside. We're going to click on the hallway. And this is there's going to be more navigation points on this particular scene because there's more entry points on this scene. So if we just click on drag and drop on the front door, and that's going to take us back outside now. Okay.
That's a good point, Ed, because I hadn't even thought you'd need one both ways.
Yeah. So now I'm going to click on OK. Drag and drop to the bathroom. Pictures.
On the left, it's in the middle.
There we go, yeah. Thanks for that input.
I recognise a toilet when I see one, Ed.
Going to put one on the bedroom. And then I'm just going to save it here because obviously what we do is we just go around the property, just linking the images. Do you understand that so far?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're going to save changes. We can now close this down because we don't need it. And now, if we scroll up, you can see that we have two separate categories now. So they're not all thumbnails across. And we've got a navigation point. Click on there, and now we're in the hallway. Click on there. Again, obviously, we've not added one on the return, but that's how easy it is to create a 360 virtual tour using iTours Pro. Do we have any questions?
Well, I've got a couple of questions about the equipment. Buddy's just popped one in, so I'm just going to read it. Also about the equipment. When you dragged and dropped that thing to get you through the door, the directional thing.
Yeah.
There was a host of other things there as well.
Want me to look at those for you now?
Yeah.
Yes, please.
So we'll go back to edit.
Sorry?
We're going to go back to edit.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm just moving this bar around from the Zoom. Give me a second. So what I'm struggling with here at the moment is obviously I've got all the windows from the Zoom meeting on the screen, so I'm trying to. It's not. It's not that. So I'm just gonna. Right, there we go. Right, so that's opened it up. I'm just sort of like shifting it all around the screen. So. Right, so we go to hotspot editor again.
Yeah.
Okay.
Put the kitchen one in.
Yeah, here's the kitchen one, yeah?
Yeah.
So this is a kitchen, sort of a diner. Up there is a mezzanine, so as you can see all around it. That's where the stairs lead to. So, for example, what we'll do is we can put
integrated cooker. Yeah.
So this is a description.
Yeah, so this is like a message thing. So, like I said, what I'm struggling with is I'm actually just trying to maneuver you guys around the screen so I can access my screen.
He might have it on view. He might need to put it into box so he can move all of us to the right hand side.
I'm moving you all around, so you literally go around.
Feel free to minimize us, Ed. We won't be offended.
Oh right, okay. So I wouldn't know I could do that. There you go. Okay, so as you can see there, we put a message on there. So that obviously is just an integrated cooker, but this information point could be for anything. So you can actually put that for storage, storage facilities. You could put like, for example, you could put another one down here.
Does that look like a magnet kitchen to you? It didn't to me. When did you do that place up, Ed?
Sorry?
When did you do that house up? Because that ain't a magnet kitchen.
Yeah, we got a good discount on that one.
No, it's a shit kitchen. It's a.
Oh right, I thought you said it was a magnet one.
No, it fucking wasn't.
Oh right, okay. Sorry, I do
Crap
apologise.
kitchen. That's a shitball door.
So this is where you can actually add live links into the as well. So say you've got Google Drive with your brochures, instruction manuals and things. You can actually put a link in there. So say for the instructions for the actual cooker itself, you could put a link in there to a Google Drive and that'll load it up. But I haven't got one for this.
That's a very good idea.
Yeah, how to open a kitchen door.
Now, this is important, Nick. I went down to an Airbnb a couple of weeks ago and we couldn't turn the oven on. Just didn't know how to turn the oven on. So this would have been very important.
You actually mentioned that all, Anthony. Oh, you don't mind me bringing it up. Obviously, what I've done is I've named this the water point, but did you have an issue with a shower?
Yes, that was my own house as well.
Oh, right, okay.
I didn't know. I recently moved into this flat. I bought it in March, so I didn't know where my water cut-off thing valve was. It took me about an hour to find it to replace the shower.
I thought you were looking to have your first shower last week.
Yeah.
So what I've just clicked on here is a lens flare. It just gives a little light, an extra bit of light around the actual light itself. We also have a YouTube link, excuse me, where you put your movie ID in. So if you have again any descriptions on anything or any sort of instructions, you could pull them off sort of various different. I mean, you could put like a magnet kitchen video in if you had a magnet kitchen. Unfortunately, this property doesn't. So
I was going to pick on him for that. Where's your boiler? Yeah, don't. I'm sorry.
This isn't my apartment, Nick. I do apologise.
I apologise to whoever apartment it is that needs criticising it so heavily.
So I'm just going to save changes on this. I need to manoeuvre that again. Close this window down. Let's move that back across. So we're going to scroll up. So we're going to have a look into, we can go straight into the kitchen from here, from the thumbnails. So as you can see, there's a lens flare now.
Oh yeah, that's good.
Makes it nice and bright. Obviously, this would be where the YouTube link was. Click on here. This is where the integrated cooker is, and again, you can have information about the appliance there. And then obviously we've put down, this is where the water point is.
You could put one on the radiator and say, please don't kick this off the wall.
Ouch.
That would have saved you 15 years back.
There you go. So again, obviously, like I said, you can make it as interactive as you possibly can. I'll just show you, yes. So you can make it, sorry, just share my screen again. So you can make it as interactive as you can. It all. Sorry, I'm just going to open it up again. Yeah, so you can make it as interactive as you can. It's going to sort of bring more engagement with your potential client as well, or your potential tenant. The more interaction you actually put into it. The main questions that we really get, obviously how you can benefit from it, obviously how you can create it, which I hope we've covered there.
Yeah, so with the question that we had earlier on, we've got another one. It says, how long does it take? So you've done a few bits there. It's taken maybe 5 or 10 minutes. But
yeah, to do it,
how long would it have taken you to do that whole apartment, for instance?
That pretty much was the whole. Do you mean to actually shoot it?
No, to
edit it and put it in some kind of
and put all your information points.
Yeah, I mean, it'd probably take about another 5 minutes more. Obviously, than what we've done there. I mean, all you literally doing is just linking back the navigation points.
Yeah.
Yeah, but when somebody's first doing it, it's going to take them at least half an hour until they get familiar with it. Yeah, it's like anything, isn't it? First time you go on Facebook, it takes you half an hour to get it all sorted out in how you want it. But once you've done it once, twice, 3 times, it becomes a lot easier.
Yeah, it's like any sort of technology that you're using that you're not familiar with. The more you use it, obviously, the more familiar you come with it, and obviously the easier it is to use. But in terms of actually using this sort of type of technology in this platform, it is as straightforward as what I've done there. It is literally drag and drop into the actual platform, the images, and it is literally just drag and drop the actual point of interest.
But if somebody gets stuck, Ed, yes, and thinks, oh, I'm getting confused, I'm getting lost, is there a number where they can ring to get help?
Yeah.
Or is there also videos where they can watch?
I'm just going to show, obviously, I'll just go to our website. Just bear with me a second.
Because that's important as well.
So if you go to our, obviously this is the platform. If you go to our actual website itself, and you can get this inside the platform as well. If you go how it works, so obviously these tutorials are ready available, and they're literally a couple of minutes long. So obviously we've got how to shoot a virtual tour. Tells you the best way in how to position in the camera. It's a couple of minutes long. How to upload the virtual tour. So if you do get stuck, you can just, use this. Add in the navigation points. So all these little points, they're all there for you to access. But again, the one thing that we sort of put as much focus on as possible is support. So the team and the guys here are more than happy to jump on with anyone at any time to sort of hold your hand and walk you through it.
But for everybody that buys into your product, you said you do online. Is it online training?
Yeah, we do online training. We'll do it over the phone. There are videos. Because the thing is, Nick, I know obviously with our client base as what we have, that once you use the platform, you know how easy it is. And then the only ever issues that you are ever going to really get are sort of more technical issues. And we're always on a hand for that anyway.
Okay.
So once I've got you up and running on the platform, then I can just leave you to it. And then if I ever sort of feel I need to sort of jump in, then I'm, just jump on the phone and have a quick chat with you and say, maybe this, maybe that, maybe you could look at that, So the support is always there because we always get, as well as you getting an email, we get an email as well. So we know what tours are being put up and how they're being put up. So it is something that we do monitor as well.
Okay.
Okay.
So are we moving on to the equipment now? Because I've got a hell of a lot of questions asking about that.
Yeah. So obviously, I was just going to sort of talk first on the cost.
That's very important. Let's
because we can talk on the cost, and the costs will then sort of move into the equipment anyway. So a 360 virtual tour is expensive. That's a question, obviously, that I'm assuming a lot of people are asking. Mm-hmm. If you outsource a 360 virtual tour, if you get a company to come in and do the virtual tours for you, a standard property usually costs around 30 to 40 pound a room. So if you've got a property with, possibly 10 rooms, this can be around about 300 pound for somebody to come in. Obviously, there'll be different fluctuations in the market depending on your location, but you are going to be looking at, a few £100 for 360 virtual tour. Yeah. So but obviously with using iTours Pro, that sort of changes all the sort of extra costs that you would pay for outsourcing it, because you can now shoot, create, and publish a 360 virtual tour in-house, and it can literally save you thousands of pounds, not just money as well, but the time obviously that you spend on sort of viewings. If you were to, so obviously the cost of it is expensive if you outsource it. Is iTours Pro expensive? So you can actually purchase a 360 camera, tripod and carry case from ourselves, from our website, and that's from $199. And packages start from just $9.99 per month, and LMPG members discount off all the packages. Now, the discount is just off the packages because the equipment itself is at cost. So we don't make any money from the equipment because the actual money that we make is from the actual platform itself. But we are fully aware that you do need a 360 camera to create a 360 virtual tour. So we've had a lot of clients in the past that were interested in signing to the platform, but they were actually struggling to locate a 360 camera. And obviously prices can range from like £50 to £20,000 for a camera. So it can become a bit of a it did become a bit of a stumbling block. So we went out into the market, we sourced a camera, we sourced a stand, the box is sourced itself, and obviously we cut and design so it all fits in perfectly for you. Here's one I've got here just to show you the size. I don't know if you can see me because I can't see myself.
We can see you, yeah.
You can.
Pick up a bit. That's better.
Yeah, so this is our 360 kit. So as you can see, it is quite small. It is quite compact. And obviously when you receive the actual equipment, you do receive like just a little double-sided instruction sort of manual, if you like. So if you were to receive this on site with no knowledge of a 360 virtual tour, you would be able to use that and shoot straight away. That's how confident we are with that.
You need to charge the camera.
The camera needs to charge. We charge it at our end first before it comes out, but you do need to charge the camera, yeah.
Okay.
But the thing is, with
I think that is absolutely brilliant, because one point I think you mentioned it there is that if you said to me, right, go off, we've got this brilliant platform for you, go off and get a 360 camera stand, I wouldn't know where to begin. I would have absolutely no idea
I would neither.
What's good, what's bad. And I'd end up spending either nothing and having a crap one, or thousands of pounds and going overboard. So having it specified for you is phenomenal.
But what you need though as well, what you've got to remember as well, is that the camera itself is sourced to do this job. We've tested the market. This camera is at an affordable price to do the job in hand. The tripod we've gone out and sourced. So we know that this tripod is suitable for this particular job in hand, or this task in hand. And obviously the case is quite robust. It's quite pretty, it's clean, it smells nice. So that all comes together. So it's great the way it's packaged up. But this is a turnkey solution because we have a platform and we're providing you kit. So we offer a warranty with this package that comes together. The platform, you can use any 360 images to actually create a virtual tour with a platform. You can use any camera. You can go and buy your own cameras and you can go and buy your own tripods. That's fine. But if the tripod has an issue with the thread for you to screw the camera on, and you ring the tripod company, they're going to say, well, it might be the camera. And if there's an issue with the camera, they might say, well, it's the platform that you're using. With us, it's one phone call. If there's an issue with the tripod, if there's an issue with the camera, if there's an issue with the platform, you just come direct straight to us and we will resolve that issue, whatever that issue is. You know, we'll get the actual kit lifted and we'll take it into our tech team and they will examine the equipment to see if there was any faults with it. So,
but that's £199 you just said.
So that's £199.
Would that be, as you grow, the business grows, would that then eventually be 199 plus VAT? Because I'll get thrown at us.
Yeah, it's VAT.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So again, obviously with this, so again, I'll show you the camera again. So all you need to do with the camera itself is, I can't see myself, but I'll just hold it up like that. So
be it closer to your computer.
Yeah, so you've got the camera there.
That's it.
It's quite a small piece of kit. You get your phone. I mean, I'm on an iPhone. You can use an Android. Obviously, with you just go to the App Store, get the app. You just link it and connect it all together. It's very, very straightforward. And then you take the images through your phone or through your device. You just extend the tripod, get the tripod together. It just literally opens up. It's a telescopic tripod, so it just opens up. You connect the camera to the tripod, you place the camera in the center of the room, you leave the room, you take the image, you can see the image that you're taking on the app. You walk into the room, you pick up the camera, you move to the next room. So for as long as it takes to actually create, to sort of shoot the virtual tour, is as long as you can literally walk around the house. Because you're just taking one images in each room. As I demonstrated before with the virtual tour that I created.
Yeah. And you said about your images, it starts at £9 a month, yes?
It's £9.99 a month. Obviously, the LMPG do receive a 25% discount on top of that. So,
yeah.
And obviously for that, you get 3 virtual tours hosted at any one time.
And how many rooms? So if somebody's got a 10-bedded HMO,
you get 20 images per tour.
Okay.
But if you had a 20-bed HMO, the likelihood is that you're more than likely going to do, you're not going to do one shoot and have all the images and all the rooms, because you'd only really want to be advertising the room that you're advertising.
Yeah.
Otherwise, people are going to get lost. They're going to be walking into bedrooms. They're going to be walking in there. That's got no relevance to them at all. You might have a different price.
That's a really good point. You can tell I'm not in the HMO market.
And you might have a different price point as well on different rooms. You can actually put that, as I showed and demonstrated earlier. You can actually put that in the room itself. So obviously, when somebody goes into the room, we'll know how much the room costs. Serviced accommodation is great for serviced accommodation as well. Obviously, we have clients where they'll use it even for the cleaners. You know, so you might get a team of different cleaners that come to your serviced accommodation apartments, and you can send a virtual tour. And this is how we expect our property to be cleaned. This is how we expect it to be presented. This actually comes down to the cost of the tour, because the cost of the tour. Obviously, the more you sort of grow, and obviously the more tours you have, obviously the less they come down. So obviously it works out to be around about £1 a property or £1 a tour with our gold package. That's $39.99 a month. Obviously it wouldn't be with LMPG because you do receive a 25% discount.
Oh, I like the way he says that. I'm going to record that. You get a 25% discount.
There you go. So obviously, so with that being in mind, you can create multiple tours for one property. If you're outsourcing virtual tours, you can't do that because it's too expensive. But you can have a maintenance tour, you can have an occupants tour, and obviously you can have a marketing tour as well. We've actually got property developers and landlords that are actually building and renovating, refurbing properties at the moment, and they're using the virtual tours to liaise with the builders. So, for example, you might have a property developer that's based in London. His project manager is based, or the property itself is based in Manchester. So they can have like a daily sort of a storyboard about how the property's been developed, what needs to go where. You can start to put points of interest, that I want the boiler going here, you know, I want this wall knocking down, I want this, etc., etc., etc. So you don't have to be on site as much if you're actually doing a sort of building properties as well. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. And Nick's currently talking to about 100 landlords in Hong Kong. And I think it'd be great for them because they are in Hong Kong. They can't come and see the property at a moment's notice when they like. So, yeah.
The other thing, you just reminded me something there. We actually have one of our clients and they actually have teamed up with a relocation company. And that relocation company has ties with China. So they're sending the virtual tours to the relocation company. The relocation company is sending the tours out to China, and he's getting signed 12-month contracts just off the virtual tours themselves. So it can actually spread how far your network of clients, you know, you might have clients that are down south or up north that may want to move into the area. The virtual tours will help you to broaden your network of potential clients. And the more clients you've got for your property, the more in demand it is, then the more the price goes up.
Lovely. Well, I'm going to throw over some questions now. So do you want to pop up your contact information slide? I've got a couple on Facebook. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through those first. And I'm going to say to the people in Zoom, I've got a couple of questions here. If you did want to ask any of these questions yourself, or you've got something else you've been sitting on to ask Ed, feel free to pop your hand up. You do that at the bottom of the screen. You'll have something called reactions, or maybe the ellipsis, the 3 dots in the bottom right. And you can raise your hand there. So if anyone wants to talk themselves, rather than speaking through me, feel free.
Can we get rid of this?
Sorry?
Oh yeah, no, forget me. Forget me.
So I'm going to start with James's question through on Facebook, and James has been all over this. He says, how many landlords are benefiting from this? I really like the phrasing of that question, benefiting from this.
So how many clients have we got?
Yes.
Essentially.
So that was the boring way to ask the question, Ed.
I mean, again, when we obviously said there's such a wide sort of market for us, you know, obviously we were approached, obviously the reason for the platform being put together was essentially for student lets and student apartments, but obviously we approach estate agents and letting agents. So we work with some sort of big brand international as well, estate agents and letting agents. Again, when we went onto Clubhouse, that's when we were sort of really opened up to the market of the landlords and how many sort of landlords there are. But we have around about 60 to 70 landlords that are using the platform at the moment. And they're all different levels as well. Do you know what I mean? So,
no, look, we started with one member. Ed, you've got to start somewhere. So having 60 people is quite good.
In terms of sort of landlords, but again, when we looked at the numbers, of estate agents and letting agents, and we sort of come to the number of around about 50,000 in the UK. Yeah. When we looked at the potential landlords, it's like 1.4 million.
Yeah.
And obviously we know that our product and our service lends itself for landlords because of the cost. You know, it's the cost of outsourcing, you know, it's out of reach. This isn't out of reach anymore. It is available for you.
I've got a question from Ian, a very good one on Zoom here. Ian, I'm going to throw it over. I'm going to say, if you want to put your hand up now, do it. Do it while I'm.
I can't see everybody.
To ask your question. I'm going to ask you. If you've got a long room, or perhaps one of those kitchen living room things that are very popular these days, would you need to take 2 images, one at each end of the room, or would that confuse the software and create a strange image?
No, not at all. You can create a hotspot within an image. Yeah, I mean, I did create a hotspot before in the hallway to create 3 or 4 images, but you can create multiple images, multiple hotspots and multiple images. You can do that, yeah.
So those hotspots are actually 2 different images.
Sorry, I've got a bit confused myself there. No, you can take. We do have, you know, because we do larger spaces as well, so you can take multiple images and link them together in the same room. That isn't an issue. If you want to take, so that is a kitchen diner sort of stroke living room, that apartment. It's like an open plan living space.
Yeah.
So we could potentially have taken another image in there inside the kitchen itself.
And then you walk over to it as you
would. We
would.
could have linked it together and it would have worked fine. There would be no issue with that.
Okay. Jazz, I'm moving over to you, so I'm going to give you the same courtesy. If you want to put your hand up, feel free to do it now. But Jazz has asked, how long would it take typically to create one 360 video to upload? And there's another question here, so I'm going to ask you that one first. How long does it take to upload?
I've just uploaded one, so you know it takes around about 5 to 10 minutes to upload it. Probably around about 15 minutes to link the images together.
I would say as well, Ed, bearing in mind you're currently streaming live on Zoom, it was pretty quick, the upload.
Yeah, again, you know, I was actually worried about it, you know, maybe a bit laggy as well with it being sort of shared software, but no, it did work quite well. It did upload quite quickly, so, and that's just a good example of how it works.
Yeah. Can the 360 video be edited before upload to improve colors, light level, all that standard?
Yeah, you can. I mean, and it goes into a little bit of deeper training, and we do offer this training. So, you know, don't be worried about sort of asking for further information or further training. We didn't really want to sort of go into this tonight, but we've got a piece of software that we use. We found it. It's a free piece of software, and it's called GIMP.
GIMP.
So obviously with this, we've had, obviously, because I say we work with a lot of estate agents and letting agents, and obviously in the GDPR, you know, there can be, you know, photographs and things like that actually within a property, you know, so you might not be able to remove them all as you take the images. But with this software, you know, we can blur out certain parts. So say, for example, you've got, I know, a HMO with a driveway, you're taking a picture, you've got a resident that's already living there, it's occupied, you've got a driving license plate in the car, you know, sorry, in the car park, we can edit that out. That isn't an issue. It takes, again, just a couple of minutes just to upload it to a different piece of software, a couple of minutes to edit it, and again, just re-upload it to the platform. So if there's any questions on GDPR, we've got that covered.
Right, here's one. So just a quick one, really. A yes or no. The photos on the camera, how do you get them off the camera, and are they PNGs? So that's the yes or no bit.
Yeah, so basically you've got, I don't know if you'll be able to see this, but
You knew that wasn't going to be a yes or no.
As soon as I started asking it, Nick, I thought, why did I say that?
Well, it's not a yes or no, because obviously you asked me how to get the images off. So anyway, so obviously within the pamphlet, obviously that comes through. It does have the information, obviously for the app, and then obviously it gives you a description actually on there of how to download the images to your device. If you've got the images on your device, you can actually log into the platform, opening your browser on your phone, and you can actually upload the images straight from your phone to the platform. Unfortunately, you can't edit the images in a phone because the screen's not big enough, but you can do it on an iPad.
Mm-hmm.
So you can actually upload straight from your phone, or you could airdrop them from an iPhone to an iPad, and then you can edit it from, because we do have people that do prefer to use sort of iPads and things and tablets. So, but you can do that with a tablet.
Lovely. And just a final question from Hugh here. Can we have a list of all the packages available, please? That's a good question. I don't think it was on there.
It'll be on our website, won't it? All the packages.
Oh,
yeah, they've been. Yeah, I mean, I can show you them though if you like.
Yeah, please do.
Yeah,
please
please.
do. I'm just saying, if people don't remember them, they're on our website. Are they on our website? That's my first question.
They're on ours, yeah. So there's an iTours Pro page on LMPG's website.
So obviously this is our website.
While you're doing that, I've got another one from Hugh. He says, how much are the parachutes for the airdrop?
How much of the what, sorry?
He's trying to be funny. He has not got, he's worse than Paul Hilliard.
How much of the parachutes?
For the airdrop.
We put those on the LMPG tab.
Anthony, you're trying to be funny.
That was it. That a member said that, Nick. I just read it out. I liked it.
Right, so here are the packages. Obviously, you've got your bronze, silver, and gold. 19.99, 29, and 39.99. If you are a landlord, you can get a monthly plan. You do get a 30-day free trial as well. That's on top of the LMPG discount.
Well, I love it. I'm going to video that.
Mm. It's quite funny though, because you get the 30-day free trial, but you've got to spend 200 quid on a camera.
Yeah, if you don't like it, you can send it back out.
How long
is this recorded?
Sorry?
Is this recorded?
You just said it.
Recorded.
Like anything, isn't it? It's like anything. You know, you do get sort of a period with it. So, I mean, you get a 30-day free trial, but you know, it's going to take us a couple of days to get the kit to you as well. So, so yeah, you can either come directly through to us and we'll invoice you direct, or you can just actually go through the website itself and sort of apply for a plan.
Mm-hmm.
Stop share now. Is that okay?
That's fine. Just one final question, unless we've got any more coming in. So I'm going to ask. Oh, here we go. No, I do have another one actually, but I'll ask my one first. I'd ask about the data. So you said you actually wouldn't host this as an iframe on booking.com or something because you wouldn't get.
No, we host, and obviously that's what the cost and the charge is. So we host it on our servers, the actual. So, like for example, if you're going on to, I know obviously from experience that Rightmove, etc., they use it. So, if they click on, what they do is they just added the link in, and then the link is populated on the Rightmove platform, and they use the link. If you actually want to, so if you go, share my screen again.
Gone quiet.
If you go, sorry, I do apologize. So if you go to, obviously, like I said, our website, this isn't an outside link. This is the iBed frame. This is actually in the website. This is embedded in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What data do you mentioned you wouldn't get the data? What data did you mean?
No, I meant for the tenants or for the clients.
Ah, so I thought you meant like.
So for example, if you're a sort of property business, you're a property professional. In any sort of business, data is key to everything. You know, I mean, it's obviously your sort of client base, your that's the sort of goals, isn't it? So if you just push out your virtual tour to the internet, to the world, anyone can view it, anyone can see it. If you push out to the world that you've got a virtual tour, but we need your information to request it, then you're starting to capture data. And
is that how this works then? If people want to see the tour, they have to sign up, or are you saying?
Well, no. I mean, sorry, I'm on about obviously how you use it.
I'm with you. I'm with you. I'm with you.
Probably the best example. So we have estate agents that use it. They don't actually show the virtual tours of the properties that they've got. They let people know they've got them. As soon as they get an inquiry, they'll send them the virtual tour. We have other estate agents that just push out the virtual tour. That's out on the internet, but they will never get any data for that. They'll never get an inquiry. They'll never be able to build a client list until that person makes an inquiry. But they've already seen the virtual tour.
Depends on which camp you sit on. Some people are going to want to advertise that room, aren't they? And they'll send it everywhere.
Exactly, yeah.
And they'll get phone calls. I'm interested in that room because I've seen it. Some people will say, look, I've got this room, I've got the tour. Give us your information over the phone. Yep, give us your email. Bang, I'll send it to you.
Exactly that.
It's a way of getting data, isn't it?
I'm with you. I know what you mean. Yeah, it's like putting it as part of the marketing funnel.
Yes.
And just a couple more questions that came in as we were going through that. So what happens if members want to upgrade? So they'll start off on the 3 tours. They'll go, this is absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, it's easily done through your actual through your account. Upgrade through your account, and then you can downgrade as well.
Okay, lovely.
Okay, well, that's good.
So,
is there a contract in place? Let's say that I use it for 6 months and I think, no, I've had enough now.
No contracts in place. You can come and go as you please.
Okay, no, that's good.
Yeah, we don't put contracts in place. So you get 30-day free trial. There's no contract that you signed up to. You can move up and down the tours as you wish. And if you do get any problems or any struggles, you know, we're always there on hand.
Is the 25% discount for LMPG members indefinite?
Yes, and it's a rolling as well. So if you pay for an annual.
Yeah.
Buddy's already clocked that one. He's gone. Yes, and I haven't seen Buddy all night because the virtual thing. Buddy's
asked a couple of questions
on my screen.
Yeah, so it's ongoing.
Lovely. And just final question from Facebook here. What's the money back policy, refund policy?
Again, it's like I said, you've got a 30-day free trial. So obviously, if there's an issue, you don't like it, just send us the kit back.
Okay. So that's within the 30 days as well. So.
Yeah.
Okay. Lovely. Well, thanks so much for that, Ed. I think we had you all over the place tonight. But
sorry, Ed.
Very well.
Because I want to ask questions as well, but that's why I turn the camera off and turn the mic off so I don't interfere.
Yeah, I think I was a bit. Nervous at the start, but I think it was all right in the end. So yeah,
I always say, Ed, this is real.
The right information that you need.
Yeah, this is real.
But what you've got to all remember is that, you know, there's a cultural change at the moment. Obviously, the millennials at the moment now, they're all online. Everyone's moving more online. You know, there is a situation now where you don't usually get one person in the household working. Both people are working in the household. You know, time is precious for everyone at the moment. So virtual tours not just help, obviously, the people that are looking at the tours, but they'll also help you as well as an individual, as a landlord. Because at the end of the day, the one thing that you can't get back is time.
Yeah, definitely. And speaking as a millennial for you, Ed, your target audience here, I bought my flat based off going through a virtual tour probably about 20 or 30 times. Obviously, I saw it as well, but I was on the virtual tour a hell of a lot more.
Yeah, I mean, we do find this, I think I said it earlier, with sort of short-term lets, they can be done without a physical viewing. Obviously, if you're purchasing a property, you are going to want to see the property, but virtual tours give you the opportunity to sit down at home, glass of wine, or whatever it may be, and you can discuss it openly, and you've got all the time to do that.
Brilliant. Nick, we're rapidly approaching 8 o'clock.
Are we?
Again, yeah, I know.
Well, Paul's here. What do you expect? We're overrunning because Paul Hilliard's here.
Thanks again, Ed. That was so good to see from you, mate. And we've got a lot in the chat as well of people saying how good it was. Looks like an excellent product. People are calling you both Ed and Edward, so it's nice to see that they took your advice on board, and you got a 50-50% ratio there as well. So Nick, let's talk about next week. We've got the energy supplier, the energy consultant of TCD Energy on.
Yes. Now, we spoke about this last week, and with all energy prices going up, Anthony been speaking to quite a few energy companies, because the cost of energy, everybody's saying, if you're not on a deal, stay where you are. Well, what does that mean? I really don't know. So we've got an expert coming on talking about energy and about what you should be doing. And Anthony met the guy, really liked him. He spoke a lot of common sense. So we thought prime kind of conversation at the moment is about energy bills, especially in service accommodation, especially in HMOs, because landlords are paying the bills. So we thought, what a great opportunity to get him on board and come and have a talk. So that's what we're going live with next week. I'm really looking forward to that one.
Definitely. The issue was that when he organised the meeting, I thought this guy won't last 5 minutes. Everything's happening on the news at the minute. Why would anyone want to switch? And I couldn't fault what he said at all. So I said, I've got to put you in front of the members. Let's see if it's either brilliant or it's nonsense. I don't know.
This is not about membership. This is about giving you some information about energy prices, which we're all suffering at the moment. So again, if you want to reduce your energy bills or you want to hear about energy, this will be the guy to talk to. I think it's going to be really, really good. I'll be definitely interested. I just got my gas bill per month. £134 a month. Jesus. From 74. Gone through the roof. But hey ho, that's life at the moment, isn't it? But no, that's what we're doing. We've got any other announcements to make, Anthony?
That's next week, Nick, and that is also our 50th webinar of the expert lock-in. So we were wearing a party hat. I don't know about you.
You mean we've bored members 50 times?
Well, I'm saying that we've made 50 hours, over 50 hours of free content for the membership on subjects, all landlord refurb related across the length and breadth of the country. So I'm going to pat myself on the back here, and I think you should as well, Nick.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, yeah, it was Paul that pushed me into this. So Hilliard, well done. He's sitting there today. I saw Paul do one. I thought we should be doing this. If you remember, Paul. Yeah, you remember that one. So no, I mean, and again, I did say this last week. If you've got a subject that you would like us to talk about, even if it's not anything to do with any of our partners, yeah, or you want some technical information, then again, we can go and research that and bring them in to come and talk to you. Again, this is not just about LMPG. This is about what do you want? Yeah, and we'll bring a trainer in. Yeah, we'll bring anything in. I mean, last season we brought Simon Suchi in. If you want some training or you want a particular subject, please come and talk to us about it. Yeah, and we'll see what we can do. I mean, I think they're great educational parts. I know we do waffle on a bit, and I try to have a good laugh and a good joke. Yeah, because otherwise it get a bit boring. People might be a bit boring about me, but hey ho. And see, right this moment, I'm looking at Buddy, yeah, because he just keeps freaking grinning at me. That's all I get. But no. But on that note, I just like to say good note. And I want a catchphrase at the end to end every program. just like they did on, what's that car program on TV?
You can't start a catchphrase after 50 episodes, Nick.
Oh no, I've got to start doing a great phrase. On that note, I'd like to say good night.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks again, Ed.
So, yeah, so I'm going to say good night to everybody. Lovely talking to you all. And Ed, yeah, we'll speak to you tomorrow. Well done. You've done a great job tonight, mate. Honestly, thoroughly enjoyed that.
Cheers, thanks. And I actually just opened up the chat. I didn't even know there was any chats going on, so I didn't realise I had access to it. So I want to thank you all for your lovely comments as well, and I look forward to speaking to some of you guys soon.
Yeah, excellent. Good night,
Cheers,
everybody.
guys.
Have a
See you soon.
great
Bye.
week. Cheers. Bye-bye.
Right.